Hey folks, so this is probably gonna be the last video I'm gonna make in a while, and I just wanna pretty much sit down and get some of my thoughts out and some of my discussions out of the way and everything, cause I'm doing okay. I'm not doing the greatest, but I'm not doing too bad either. I think I'm doing alright. So, if you folks haven't been noticing or following, I'm sure most of you know by now, but I got surgery tomorrow at noon. So, the nurse or whatever called, because that's what they do, they call in advance beforehand. So, it's gonna happen at noon. I do not look forward to it by any means. I cannot have any solid foods after midnight, which I won't anyway. But I can't have any solid foods after midnight, and any liquid that I have, aka like water or soda, even or whatever, right? I can only have those up to 8 a.m. tomorrow. And honestly, I don't look forward to it. I I do not look forward to it by any means. If you folks haven't noticed here, and it just discourages me that I'm at this point here. Because what happened is that I've had a plantar's wart, right? And we've been trying to take care of it and cure it for at least a year now. A little over a year, like a year and 2 months or something, whatever, right? And I remember, it's kind of crazy, because I remember the first time when we started to get treatment, we went to this hospital, me and my mother did, and this young doctor, he was in his 30s, definitely a millennial, right? So he came in and he pretty much had an idea just to see where to go with it. So he gave me like at least 4 numbing shots to really get it numb, and he got it so he got around, the area and around the edge of the toe here, right? If you look at the toe here, this guy here, I'm not gonna take my sock off. I don't want to display you folks the wart or some shit, but like around here, it's pretty damn sensitive, excuse me. And he did one right over here, and that was probably the worst. It like I was legit gonna flinch it away, but I didn't. So, because I was like, yeah, because I yelled at myself that I have to remain still, God, because I don't want to, cause anything worse or anything, right? Especially with an injection. So he got a razor, as in like a shaving razor, that you use to shave your facial hair or whatever. Some of us men, men in a sense. And trance, I guess, if hair tends to get too thick. I know one of my best friends, he only has a bit of hair on there, but we'll have to see on that. But anyway, besides, so he got a razor and he ripped off the whole goddamn wart partially, like it was a freaking vault door, and he just C4'd it and blew the whole goddamn vault door off to the vault, right? In a sense, in a bank or whatever, as an analogy that way. And blood was freaking everywhere and stuff, cause I call it the cauliflower phase. I think most do, cause with warts, dead calluses, pretty much dead skin or whatever that's not needed, will come over and it'll cover up, and it acts as a shield to the main wart. And when he froze it and then that didn't work, he then suggested another doctor, which was kind of odd. So that was like legit a one time thing, but you know what? Whatever. And plus, he was going somewhere with his fiance or whatever, I believe. I hope he's doing okay now. I think he moved over. His wife was pregnant or something, or gonna be or whatever, so he moved over somewhere. I can't remember which, but I still wish the best of luck to him, even though I don't even remember his name, but he was definitely a nice, a nice millennial, definitely in like his early to mid 30s or whatever. He was a nice guy. He was a cool guy. But anyway, so we went to this other hospital, and what we've been doing here for the past year or so now was getting a little scalpel, and we would trim off all of the callus that would go around, right? To eventually where we would get to the main core of it. And a lot of times they wouldn't make it bleed because I freaking hate pain. I hate needles. I just have I don't have like a phobia of hospitals, but it just makes me uncanny in general. I do not like needles. I do not like anything sharp and blades. I don't even like to be there in general, even to visit. I do not smash or bang with any hospital means. It's just all around. It just gives me a very uncomfortable, uncanny feeling. I know that may sound a bit silly, but it's like legit being in a horror movie. I kind of feel like where you just never know when the freaking monster or killer or whatever the hell is gonna show up, right, and slit your throat or some shit. So, anyway, after we would get all the callus off and get to the main quote root of it, right, we would then get liquid nitrogen. It would come in this container, and it would have like this little bitty tube hole. Well, it would be very dense, and just go right over it and just spray it, and then hold it a few times. I would go to, well, like I would start to feel it, and just go to where the pain would be agony, right? Because they would just hold it, keep going, and then there'll be times where they would just do it once, and I'm like, no, let's do a round two or round three, because I believe that the more the merrier in a sense, right? So we would do like 2 rounds of it or 3 rounds, just keep going or whatever until I would feel it, be agony. But I'm like, all right, stop. Then I would, take a knee in a sense, take a breather for like at least a minute at most, maybe 10 or so, whatever the hell seconds, right? Just take a breather for a bit moment. Then, all right, go ahead, go in again. Let's hit it again. Then we would do it again and whatnot. And then when that didn't really fully work, then we decided to go do the laser treatment, which is pretty much, well, they would take all the callus off and everything, right? Other than, yeah, cleaning it first and everything, making sure everything's all clean and shit. We would get all of the callus off, and then we would do like a laser pen, very carefully, precisely, and just do one tap, just one tap of it, which was nerve wracking to me too, because it's this big ass machine thing or whatever that's surprisingly on wheels. It has a big ass power cord with a thick cable and shit. It's like freaking from, I don't know, it's like something Gru would make in Despicable Me or some shit, just a big exaggerated thing, whatever, with a big ass thick cord, which honestly makes sense, with a special outlet that connects to the cord in the wall, and it had this pen thing like that would have a tube, around it, obviously connected to the machine. We would have to power it up, then warm it up and whatnot. Then have like a test shot, just to make absolute sure, like a little test platform in a sense, like at some test lab or whatever, tap it, and look over it, like, okay, the laser's good, all right, let's go ahead and, go in or whatever, and just do just a simple tap. And those felt like like getting a rubber band and hitting it, you know, like a hit tap on your arm or something. I don't know if you folks ever did that, but that's what it felt like to me and what I can best describe it, like a rubber band. A pull rubber band, and then you let go, and then the force of the rubber band slings out and, hits you, taps you pretty much, bounces off you. But anyway, and when that didn't work, we kept trying different treatments and stuff. The only thing I refused to do was radiation shots, because those were fucking brutal. I have a twin brother, and he had freaking 2 warts on both sides of his feet, and we kept doing aggressive treatment on that too. And finally, that went away, and I could tell the radiation shots were freaking brutal. And since I'm a freaking deer in headlights skittish with the freaking needles, because I hate them, I fucking hate those things. The brewer that he went through, finally they did go away, but like it's just nerve wracking. I am gonna be happy that it's finally gone. I freaking hope. I'm crossing my damn fingers it's gone. I don't want my toe to be chopped off after this or something. And what I don't want to happen is to lose a nerve. That's as in, I don't know if I'm gonna feel numb on my toe if that happens or not. But my doctor did say that that is a possible risk factor that if they're not careful enough or whatever, they could fuck up my nerve. I don't know if it's gonna be like just a numbing feeling throughout my toe heel all my life, or if anything taps it or whatever, then there's gonna be, like just numbness. But I doubt they'll do that. They're very good. They're very professional here, and it's just nerve wracking. I'm looking at 3 months ahead of here, folks. At least in terms of this being all over, the surgery is going to take at least an hour, but I think the full process from start to finish, driving there and driving back, is at least going to be 4 to 5 hours, I imagine. It is nerve wracking. So I imagine they're probably going to have an IV needle with the tube. I call it the needle gate or whatever in a sense, because they're going to have a needle that goes into my bloodstream, and then leave it there, and then have the secondary that has a tube attached to it, which is like the actual liquid or gas or whatever the hell you want to call it, right? And I don't know if they have a name for it. I call them needle gates or gates of needles or whatever, where they have that little piece at the end or whatever that I guess you screw. It has to be a tight thing, I imagine, where you likely screw um, left, lefty lefty loosey, righty tighty, right? So I imagine there's a little screw thing that they would screw up over, and then they would put the other needle in that will pretty much lock on with the other tube, right? Pretty much, and once it's tight and firm, then you would roll it back over to the right side, to tighten it. I'm assuming, I imagine, I'm not a medical professional by any means, but that's how at least I picture it. Because it's not like you can really just go back and forth with needles. So I think that's what that quote needle gate's for, so that you can nicely swap around between what's needed of the patient instead of having to get a needle every single time, slowly ingest it in carefully, then take it out and put it back in. So it's like a nice barrier so that you can just hop around between tubes or medicine or whatever the hell, right? That's how I imagine. I imagine probably a bag maybe or something, I guess. You know, possibly. I'm unsure. I don't think we're gonna do the I don't think they're gonna do the mask, the sleep mask thing with the tube. I imagine. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming we're gonna do the needle thing, and yeah, it's overall nerve wracking. If I can do the mask, maybe, possibly, but I'm really unsure of it. I do not look forward to the pain afterwards, the recovery process. I imagine I'm gonna have a band aid, like a thick band aid, wrapped around it that keeps it firm, and everything. And and he did say, my doctor did say that after a week of the recovery or whatever, we're gonna have a follow up of seeing how it's doing and everything, and then most likely, obviously get a boot. You know, look over at it, see how it's doing and whatnot, and then get a boot on it, and then kind of determine from there just how long it's exactly gonna take. As well as probably a follow up with a month later, I'm assuming or imagining or whatever, to look over, just to keep an eye on it, see how it's doing, see how it's going and everything, and then kind of determining from there where to go with it. So yeah, and the reason I'm making this video here is that I want to not only express my concerns. It's nerve wracking, but not only do I want to express my concerns, but I also want to let you folks know that this is the main reason why it's going to take probably a minute or two, if even that. We're talking an hour in some dumb sense. It's going to be a little while before I see you folks again, or you see me or whatever. I'm thinking at least 3 to 4 weeks. Hell, maybe a month and a half or whatever. We I don't know for sure. It could be just a week, possibly, but it could also be a month. It could be all the way until it's fully recovered. It could be all the way until like 2.5 months later or whatever. But I doubt that. We'll just have to wait and see on her and everything. And yeah, I can't have any pressure on it when it's all said and done in the very beginning, the first 2 weeks or so. He doesn't want me to have any pressure on it. That's as in no putting the foot down even gently. Just nada, none. So I have to be very careful. I'm probably just gonna lay on my bed here for a good, use my finger wrong, a good minute or so, likely. I'm probably gonna have it be elevated up, at least above my head if I were standing or sitting now or whatever, like that. I'm probably gonna have antibiotics a lot as well as muscle restraints. I'm imagining or assuming. I'm really gonna have a gaping hole in my fucking toe, like no joke, like a freaking nuclear bomb just detonated, went off, and the lands are flat and everything, and then you have this one scoop hole of the impact. I imagine it's gonna be a slow recovery, and what was I gonna say next? Oh man, I had a brain fart, but yeah, it's gonna be a slow recovery and whatnot, and yeah, I ultimately feel like this was mainly on me and my fault, honestly, because I had this before over 2 years ago, and I didn't let my parents know or anything on that because I didn't really know. I still don't really know fully the whole risks of the wart. The only thing I can guess is that when it reaches the bone and you may have to chop off a bit of the bone piece or whatever, maybe, to get rid of the wart. I don't think I'm there yet, honestly, by any means. But it's still gonna suck. Oh yeah, the wart's so big that I'm gonna have to get a skin tag. That's as in they take off a little piece of the skin, just a thin layer. Probably my hip, I imagine, not my thigh leg, but around my hip or whatever. Just like cutting cheese, the super thin damn piece of cheese, just at least to cover that spot. I imagine it's probably going to be some special type of glue that will morph and adjust itself to normal skin, I imagine, instead of staples. Because if it is staples, then they're gonna have to do a another operation or very numb thing where they have to gently take out the little staple pieces. I'm assuming, that's just my analogy of it. I'm hoping we can at least do a super glue if I have options or whatever of how I want to do it before we go forward. I'm gonna say the freaking super glue or whatever because I don't want to go through this again or whatever. I don't want staples in my toe. I don't want staples picking out at my toe or whatever and whatnot. It's honestly crazy. And at least it's something that is an actual quote surgery. Because I remember, because this is the second surgery that I'm going to have in my life, right, as of now. And the second one I had was honestly not really much of a surgery. It was more of a needed thing because I'm too much of a pussycat, legitimately. I was 10 and they were doing just a simple cleaning of my teeth, right? With the water and stuff. And it still was sensitive, even at my mid 20s or whatever. Just recently, with about a month and a half or so ago, when they like a follow up of my cleaning teeth, right? They did a cleaning teeth on me with just the little water tube spray and whatnot. It's simply just to wash your teeth, right? Just to water them pretty much. That's it really. Like using a hose on a car or whatever. That's like legit it. And like around here is definitely sensitive. Just getting around back here and everything was aggravating, but I held it together because I'm like, no way in hell am I gonna freaking do surgery again on this. Like, no, we'll we're sticking to our guns here. We're going through with it, even if the pain's agony or whatever. So they sprayed it down, and when I was 10, they couldn't do it all the way. They couldn't fully clean my teeth, and because of that, we decided, well, we gotta do it eventually, So we decided to do a surgery, nighttime surgery as I call it, an actual knockout sweep, like what I'm gonna do here, most likely. I hope it's not a daytime surgery, because what I call daytime surgery is, well, you're awake. You're still very numb and whatnot, but you're awake. Or what we were doing before, where I'm still fully awake and moving and everything, but they would just very carefully, you know, scalpel off the callus, or even just putting numb on it, but still being awake. That's what I call daytime surgery. Nighttime surgery is what I call is what we're gonna do, where they actually knock my ass out, and I'm gonna be in a peaceful sleep, and they can freaking, I don't know, chop off my dick or some shit, or freaking do whatever the hell, kind of thing, and it would just be like legit a freaking blurry memory, just nothing, stage 6 or whatever, freaking zip on over, oh shit, kind of thing. We're here now. That's what I feel like. And yeah, so I'm getting sidetracked and everything. So back to the kid thing, when I was 10 or whatever, right? I remember getting spoon fed it because I didn't want needles. I imagine we could do the spoon feeding again, but I feel like it would just be more effective, honestly, and quicker if we just got the needle thing. And MRI or whatever, right? I imagine it's probably going to be like a blood draw in a sense, I imagine, because that's what it's similar before. So I'm just going to, as much as I'm scared, I'm just going to deal with it, especially if it's more effective and it can pass by or whatever, right? So anyway, I remember taking, I remember one, but I imagine it wasn't one. I don't think it was one. I think it was like 2 or 3 or something. They would get like a spoonful, and I would just shoot it down like a shot of whiskey or whatever, right? Or beer, whatever, an alcohol shot. You just take it and just super quick, real damn fast, which I really don't find fun, honestly, personally. But you know what, whatever. And I legit woke up, and it was. I imagine it's probably going to be the same thing. Well, it's like you wake up and things are slowly coming together, and things are like foggy. It's like the pieces are there, but they're kind of scattered around. Like stage 3, I'm guessing, in a sense, like a stage 3. Well, but instead of things going further away, things are coming back, but everything's kind of weird. Things are kind of a bit, not really all over the place, but just very foggy, and it's like eventually the fog slowly fades away, and then it's like, oh shit, that really just happened. But yeah, it's it's a crazy thing. I honestly feel like this is my fault generally, like I said before, because it's been a year, and before any of this happened, it was a year ago before we did any of the treatments or even looked into it or whatnot. So I generally feel like if I did it sooner and let my parents know, maybe my mother or whatever, right? If I did it sooner, then everything would have fallen into place most likely, and I wouldn't have to get surgery or whatever here. It's gonna suck. I can't get this boot wet or anything by any means, so I'm probably gonna have to shower awkwardly. I'm gonna probably have my foot sticking out with the curtains over it. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna have like some freaking airbag or whatever cover. I'm just gonna have my foot sticking out and quickly just sit down on the tub and just wash my hair and just get it done and out of the way. I did I did take my bike today, which was honestly nice, but also kind of somber because I'm gonna miss it, honestly. I went down, got a few things, got myself an ice cream, got myself these because I freaking love them and I'm addicted to it. I imagine I'm probably gonna throw them away after some time eventually or whatever. I got myself something very simple. because I don't want to leave anything left over after the surgery. I want everything kind of cleaned out, you know. I got myself Jersey Mike's today. Freaking love that. I decided to get myself a mini because I don't want to. I'd rather have too little and be fine with it than to have too much and have it be thrown away. So I got myself a mini John's, which is goddamn cute. And I got myself some ice cream as well as those white cheddar Cheetos. Probably gonna have a soda maybe for one last time. And everything, yeah. That's overall how it kind of felt today. Like, it was still good and everything, but it just felt like it was a bit of a downgrade. Like, everything's a bit depressing. Like, stage 2. I'm not trying to throw in everyone at the end of time references or something, but that's what it just kind of felt like. Like, there's happy music, everything overall was happy, but there's that lingering doubt of feeling of, you know, sadness or whatever, you know, or like instruments trying to be happy, and it's like, you know, that without this theme or certain tune or whatever, then everything would really be jolly happy, but it's like, it's not there, and it's like, you can listen to it, you can get how it would be happy, but the overall, even it, like, it's trying to be happy, like, it's trying to be cheerful or whatever, and you can get it, but like, deep down, it like, really is not. But yeah, I hope you folks are enjoying my rambling. I guess overall, I am nervous. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty damn nervous. I'm a freaking deer in headlights with this shit because I hate the hospital. I hate needles. I hate scalpels, and I hate going into surgery. At least with James, because I know he says it before of his surgery or whatever, but at least with him, I know it's probably nerve-wracking too, but at least with him, he's got teeth that he's been taking care of. And yeah, he may not be able to talk or whatever or whatnot. Who knows where we, you know, I know that's a nerve-wracking thing, but at least he can still be functional and move around in some sense. With me, I'm going to be bedridden for at least a couple weeks. I know my parents said I'm like being dramatic or whatever, but the way I picture is I'm gonna probably just most likely be in bed. And if I need to take a shit or piss or whatever, just deal with the pain. I'm probably gonna have crutches, have to, and crutch my way over, you know, to the bathroom. You know, then just go ahead and do it real quick, then come back over, lay back down, bring out my foot and lay back down or whatever, you know, at least gently. I don't want my foot to be lower or anything. Even if they say it's fine to be at like an even level, just don't have it down. I would still am just gonna have it up anyway because I'm a worse to pain. Not that I can't take pain or whatever, but I want as little pain as possible, you know, and it overall sucks, especially with like work and stuff too. The doctor's note still hasn't come up, which I'm discouraged on, but it's probably gonna be sometime tomorrow or the next day after that. I'm really hoping. I mean, yeah, it's nothing much anyway. I only work 2 days, 2 shifts for the whole per week anyway. I really don't do much, but it's just gonna suck as well because I do not look forward to jumping right back to freaking Thanksgiving or freaking Christmas. Oh God, excuse me, Christmas or whatever. Because I mean, we're talking 3 months when this is all said and done, right? From start to finish, at least 3 months. Of course, it could be sooner or later. Who knows? That was just a rough estimate. You know, and also depends on my immune system, how long it may actually take. It could even be 5 or 6 damn months, but I really doubt it's going to take that long. But that's another thing I don't look forward to is that when I'm actually able to walk around again, not just gently tap on it, you know, but still take it easy. But when I can actually walk normal again, when I could allegedly use my bike, you know, even if it's around wintertime that time. What I don't look forward to is the goddamn election. I almost said another F word there, but I didn't want to. That's one thing I do not look forward to, and it's the freaking chaos and shit. So that's really gonna be a fun civil war to be in, because it's goddamn gonna be, folks, and whatnot. My dad's really been into this politics thing and really glued to it and everything, and I just do not want to freaking hear it. I do have a video that I do plan on doing sometime this October that I want to make and talk about that stuff and everything. So, but overall, at the end of the day, folks, I just want to thank you all dearly for being here, and I hope that you folks will be patient with me and that you folks can wait, because we're not talking freaking a week or two or whatever. Even in the past, I would like say that I'm gonna go camping with my friends or whatever. They still plan on doing that, but I really do not want to go. Camping is not fun for me. I try to have fun with it, but I don't know, it's just not fun for me in general. But yeah, I just hope you folks can wait for me and be very damn patient for me, because it's gonna be an hour. I'm estimating at the very least 2.5. At most, I'm estimating at least a little over a month at most. You know, I'm talking that's as in when I can put a little pressure on it. I mean, I could allegedly walk over here, deal with the pain, and then just have my foot uphill, rest the boot on hill, or over there or some shit, whatever, and game or whatever. But even if I could, I don't think I would really be in the mood to do that, honestly. I imagine I'm probably gonna go on hunger strike for a few days or whatever, a day or two afterwards, I imagine. And I'm not gonna push myself with this, you know. Just because I could allegedly come over here to the chair from my bed, I'm not gonna drag my ass over here and sit on this chair, turn on the computer, and frickin' make a video for you folks if I'm really not feeling it, you know? And plus, I don't think you folks would enjoy seeing me in pain throughout a video or whatever. So I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna, take a rest, and I'm gonna pretty much just wait it out. It's all you can really do with surgery anyway. So yeah, it's gonna take at least possibly 2.5 weeks, maybe 3, and at most it's gonna be a little over a month, maybe a month and a half before I can at least come over here again, or at least to where the pain's still there, but it's the point to where I can at least dismiss it and I can, at least make some content. But even then, I'm debating on that. It's just, all I'm trying to say, folks, is that just be patient with me, because it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a little while. I'm not going to drag my butt over here and force myself to produce content, especially if I'm not feeling the greatest, or if I'm not even up for the mood anyway, in general and everything, Because more on that, I should really just be resting anyway in the first place. And at least it's a quick 1 hour session, at least. Maybe a little over or under, who knows. But that's one thing that I am grateful for, is that at least it's going to be, well, I'm not going to stay at a hospital overnight or anything, At least I'm going to still be in my room, still be in my bed. I'm probably just going to use my phone as a computer for entertainment. Maybe I'll just listen to music or something. Maybe I'll just watch videos or whatever, who just to pass time or something. Who really knows, We'll wait and see. And at least I won't be fully alone, because I can, still connect with friends in some sense. I'm still gonna talk from time to time, chat on Discord, maybe see how things are going from there and everything. You folks on Discord, not you particularly, but in the Discord group with James, I've noticed there's been very lackluster and not very active like it used to be. And, that's overall fine. I think the majority of folks possibly or whatever have some things in their life. Maybe like summer camp or something, who knows. But I'm still going to be, in touch from time to time. Maybe I'll make a post here and there at my progress, process of recovery and everything, on how I'm doing, and ask how you folks are doing. Maybe a poll or something. it who knows, but it is going to take a minute before you folks will see another video again. And yeah, overall, I know I'm just rambling here, I'm just pulling on my ass here, but overall, I am grateful that I still have this channel here. I know you folks mainly are into the AUs, MLP horror AUs, even though that's been slowly dying down here and there, I've noticed. And I know you folks mainly are curious on is Spike okay or not, which I really get, even though it's annoying to me, but I'll respect that, and how you folks are mainly into the different AUs and stuff and everything, which I am glad for, but I also like to branch out and do different types of content too as well. Some serious, some not so much, and whatnot, and some will, it's videos like this where I just discuss and express my feelings and talk to you folks and everything. Even though this is not a live stream, I'm probably not going to live stream for a good minute or so. I'm gonna estimate. I would feel pretty good, I'd say, if we reach 10K one day, 10,000 subscribers. Then I would start looking into, at least um, live streaming, because I don't really want to. I mean, I could live stream, but I don't really want to live stream with only just one person or no one watching. And I'm not saying you folks need to look at my live stream to make me feel better. Like, oh shit, he's on live stream. Oh, we better make him feel good or some shit. Let's check it out or whatever, kind of thing. But yeah, I just feel like it would overall be better if I started to live stream, hypothetically, if I was at 10,000 subscribers, and I don't want you folks to feel pressured into getting me up to 10,000 just so I can live stream or whatever. I overall like to have this channel be a 50-50, you know what I mean? A perfect scale of a 50-50, the balance plate scale, whatever, with the chain on the balance board or whatever. I like to keep it the very same of 50-50. I give out content that you folks enjoy, that you folks love, that I know you folks are going to crave. And I like to give out content that, I enjoy or that I want to make as well. Not that you folks need to look at the outside stuff or whatever, of what you mainly enjoy, but I felt like it's overall healthy to do that. Because if you're a type of YouTuber or even content creator or whatever, right, where you only give to one side or the other, it can either be that you give so much to the community that you yourself are dissatisfied, and if you want to express yourself or this or that, whatever, I mean, yeah, you still could allegedly, but with a knowing audience that only cares about one specific thing, it can be very degrading and even depressing of like, why bother do this or do that if no one's gonna give a shit. And but this one thing I give, they all run over to like piranhas, like a stampede or whatever. But you also don't want to be only yourself to, well, it's only you and you're the frame and everything. Sure, I'm the maker, I'm the creator here of this channel. I could upload whatever the frick I want, I could do whatever the heck I want pretty much with it, but I don't want to be selfish that way, because then you make your audience feel like you're not gonna listen to them, and why should you, the audience, or even a watcher or whatever watching this video, should even care or whatever if the maker that you love and love their content aren't even, or even just watch your content, or even gonna even listen to you or whatever. And I do get hate from time to time, mainly about my voice. How one person said I sounded Scottish, which seems very funny to me because I do not think I have any Scottish by any means. Oi! I don't know. But I really don't think I sound Scottish by any means, honestly, when I think of Scottish. And another one said, I do get some folks that say that I can't read, I can't do shit or whatever. Now, first off, I think the majority of folks know that I actually can read. 90% of the time, even with the words I don't understand, I can still get the bigger picture of it. And I do think there's proof in that with my videos and voiceover and stuff, you know. Like, even if I don't fully get the word correctly, I still get the overall meaning or theme correctly. That's why, like, even just in my last AU or whatever, when I couldn't figure out that word or whatever, I just switch it over to, you know what, let's do method or task or whatever. You know, just something similar to fill in and, you know, just add another piece to the puzzle that wasn't really there, that didn't need to be there to begin with. But you know what? Let's just add it in because that's just a band-aid repair. Like freaking technique or whatever. It boom, there you go. Let's move on now because I'm not gonna, you know, because I don't like to try to correct words too long, and I don't want to freaking excuse me, I don't want to freaking go over to Google and translate that, try to figure out what it is, and then continue forward. You know, because that just seems embarrassing. Sometimes I'll do that as a comedic relief or whatever. You know, in a sense, like with chicken and that freaking Burger King episode of that Whopper AI. That was purely for Goofy's sake, and yeah, it was just more of those, you know, goofy in a sense things and whatnot. But I don't want to do that for too long and everything. But I think you folks know that I actually can read a lot of the time. You know, 90% of the time, even if I don't pronounce the words correctly, I still get the overall meaning and everything or two. And yeah, some folks get irritated or mad that I can't pronounce things correctly. Or this bro can't read shit or whatever. Skull emoji or something. And that annoys me, but I try not to. I don't let that get to me because at the end of the day, those are just folks that look at small detail. If I couldn't actually read like I don't know a condition or whatever, a friend of mine, a condition or whatever. Well, it's not like I can look at the words and the freaking gibberish as all hell, even in English or whatever, and I can't understand or whatever. It's nothing like that. If I couldn't actually quote read, then I wouldn't even do the AUs in the first place, you know. I wouldn't even do, I don't know, I could do games, but I wouldn't even do, you know, the AUs in the first place, or a book or something, right? Because what's the point in trying to I guess I could understand with the slides, but where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? When you can't even understand the dialogue or even the infection or whatever, you know. So I clearly can read. It's just some folks are super damn nitpicky to the stupid, irritated thing, all because I didn't pronounce one word correctly or I can't say a certain word or whatever. You know, I just dismiss that as a whatever kind of thing. Because even if I can't understand it, you know, I still that doesn't make sense. Even if I can't understand it, I still can understand. That does not make sense. But because I can't read the word doesn't mean I still don't understand the full picture. And some of you folks, I find this cute how some of you folks, you know, laugh at it and feel related to it in some sense, you know. I can mainly read. Sure, some words I may not get right, some sentences I may not get right, I may slur my words together or whatever. But you know what? I'm not perfect at the end of the day, you know. So if you're so damn nitpicky at one pronoun or one word or whatever, either just deal with it and, you know, I don't know, just deal with it and not get fussy over it, or I don't know, leave or something. I guess I don't know, because I really don't see it as much of a big deal, honestly. I really don't. You know, no one's perfect. We all have our own strengths and weaknesses at the end of the day. And my dad always said that if you can make everyone happy, you'll be greater than God. You know, greater than the Maker or whatever. You know, and not even God can quote be greater than himself or whatever in some sense because he can't make everyone happy. You know, I guess or something. I know I'm going off the rails yet again and just talking, rambling and shit, but overall, I just want to make this video here to talk, get my feelings out, and just pretty much have one last message to you folks. You know, I'm overall scared, not gonna lie. I'm quite nervous. Like I said, I do not like hospitals. I do not like needles. I do not like anything to do with any hospital thing. I hate that shit. I don't get like I don't have like a phobia or anything, but it's definitely very unnerving, very uncanny, as always. But overall, I am glad that it's finally going to be said and done. I do not look forward to the recovery. I do not look forward to the pain, but I feel like it's kind of what I asked for, you know. And not only after that, I got my wisdom teeth. I'm gonna have to get pulled out soon, sometime in January, I imagine. And I do not look forward to when I fully recover and shit. I do not look forward to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I do not look forward to the election when that comes. There's many things I do not look forward to. But you know what? When a storm comes, a storm's gonna come. And you can hide and shelter all you want, but at some day, at some point, you either just have to face the storm and just wait it out or just run through it. Because if you keep running away from it, it's just going to come up to you eventually. So you might as well just get it over with, deal with it, as much as it sucks, as much as it's cold, as much as it's scary, as much as it's dangerous with the thunder in that analogy or whatever. It will pass eventually too. And at some point, you just have to either just find a shelter and just wait it out or push through with it and run right through it, even if it takes ages, because eventually it's gonna, end and whatnot. Not storm lasts forever. Sure, that's the same thing. Not every sunshine lasts forever. Not every nighttime can last forever, whatever. But you know what? That's just how life is. Nothing lasts forever. It's not going to be winter forever as much as it's not going to be spring forever. It's not going to be daytime forever as much as it's not going to be nighttime. I feel like it's a matter of, looking forward to the happy things when they do happen, but not getting so depressed of the sad things that you feel like it's going to stay there forever. And I feel like I am going to be somber. I am going to be grumpy. I am going to be a dickhead a lot. I am going to be irritated a lot. But you know what? It'll be a slow and steady pace, and just take it day by day. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I know this is a long video. I know I'm rambling on. I said that like 4 times now in this video. But overall, I appreciate each and every one of you folks for, being supportive and sticking with me. Even if I don't get as much views as I used to or whatever, even if you folks choose, what type of content you want to watch, even if I put effort into it, that's fine. You folks should always have the freedom to choose whatever you want to watch. I will never force any of you folks to watch a certain video or content that I make, or whatever, because I feel like that's where we get into back to the greedy, selfish YouTube kind of thing or whatever. Well, the creator only gives a shit about themselves and not the audience or whatever. But anyway, overall, thank you all so much for watching or listening or just, I guess, sticking around in this video here. I just overall, I want to have a last chat with you folks, and I just want to have one last talk, pretty much, one last expression, at least for a little while, at least for 3 weeks, a month, who knows, but I am just overall glad that the war's finally going to be gone, and at least I'll keep mainly a body part in me. Even if it sucks, even if it's painful, at least I'm still in one damn piece. So, with all that being said and out of the way, folks, I appreciate you all for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe for more. And I'll see you all later than sooner. Thank you, each and every one of you. Stick around. I'll be back soon.